Sentiments of this kind are contrary to the principles of inclusion and respect that form the foundation of our diverse, multicultural, and multi-ethnic league.
Effective immediately, those two words hit like a bombshell. In a move no one saw coming, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has handed Brittney Griner a lifetime ban. No appeals, no second chances. Just a swift and brutal end to a career that once defined the league's future. But this isn't just about basketball. Behind the scenes, a storm has been brewing, one filled with explosive audio leaks, buried secrets, and growing suspicions of something far more sinister. So, could this be a punishment? Or a cover-up in plain sight? Let's get into the details. From superstar to scandal, the shocking fall of Brittney Griner. It all started like a scene straight out of a movie. The lights hit the podium, cameras rolled, and then, boom, Adam Silver walked in and dropped a shockwave that shook the entire sports world. No build-up, no gentle intro. Just a flat, emotionless declaration. Brittney Griner is banned from the WNBA for life. Not a suspension, not a fine. Banned, erased, wiped from the league she once helped define. And in that instant, jaws didn't just drop, they shattered. This wasn't just a star getting in trouble. This was the WNBA's biggest icon getting erased like she never mattered. For years, Griner wasn't just a player. She was the WNBA. With Olympic gold medals, all-star appearances, record-breaking stats, and more endorsement deals than most players ever dream of, she stood tall, literally and figuratively, at the center of the league's branding machine. From Nike ads to leadership summits, from dunk contests to late-night interviews, she was everywhere. But now, gone. Just like that. No goodbye, no press tour, just silence. Adam Silver didn't flinch. He stepped up to that microphone and laid it all out. A long, thorough internal investigation had uncovered what he called a disturbing pattern of behavior. This wasn't about one bad choice. It was layers upon layers of infractions, rule-breaking, conflicts behind the scenes, and most explosive of all, ties to something much darker. Alleged corruption, match-fixing, referee manipulation. Silver made it clear. This was about protecting the integrity of the sport. But how did it get to this point? How did Brittney Griner, America's basketball sweetheart, go from hero to outcast? The truth is, this storm had been brewing for a long time. It just hadn't made landfall yet. Whispers had started circulating months ago, maybe even years ago. Small things at first, arguments in the locker room, disrespect toward teammates, tension with coaches and officials. Then came the more serious accusations, skipping league protocols, ignoring training schedules, showing up late to team events, and walking around like the rules didn't apply. Some dismissed it as superstar behavior. Others warned that it was just the tip of a much larger iceberg. But the league stayed quiet. And you know why? Griner was a magnet. She brought in ratings, sold out arenas, and had media attention following her every move. The WNBA needed her, or thought they did. So the red flags got buried, until they couldn't be buried anymore. The scandal finally burst wide open when certain games started looking suspicious. Referees are making strange calls, momentum shifting at odd times. Fans noticed it, analysts whispered about it, and finally, someone inside the league couldn't take it anymore and spoke up. That's when Silver launched the investigation that would turn the league upside down. What they found, according to insiders, was damning. A web of influence stretching beyond the court. Alleged conversations between Griner and referees. Mysterious locker room meetings before crucial games. And then the hard proof, text messages, leaked emails, even recorded phone calls. Officials were fired, internal documents leaked. Executives panicked. Griner's name was everywhere. This wasn't just about being a diva. This was about altering outcomes, about manipulating the system from the inside. And in a sport where fairness is sacred, that's a line you just don't cross. Adam Silver made it clear. Any threat to the game's integrity would be met with the harshest penalty possible. This brings us to the heart of the matter. the role of the commissioner in the case. But here's the real question. Was he acting purely to protect the league, or is there something deeper he's not telling us? Stay glued to your screen, because what comes next will blow your mind. The commissioner's quiet role in the Griner fallout. Kathy Angelbert was never supposed to be part of the scandal. She was meant to be the shield, the one who kept the league in check, who made sure rules were followed and reputations stayed clean. But now, she's not just part of the story, she's in the eye of the storm. Sources close to the league say Angelbert had heard the whispers long before Adam Silver took that microphone. There were subtle warnings, confidential emails, and quiet complaints from players behind closed doors. And yet, she stayed silent. Why? That's where things get murky. Some say she was trying to protect the image of the WNBA, to keep the headlines clean and the sponsors happy. Others believe she simply didn't have the nerve to confront Griner, whose influence within the league was growing faster than anyone expected. Either way, her refusal to act early only allowed the scandal to grow into something much darker, much harder to contain. Now Angelbert herself is under investigation, and fans are demanding her resignation. It's not just about Griner anymore. The league's entire disciplinary process has been stripped away from Angelbert and handed over to Silver's team. That's how serious this has become. This mess didn't happen overnight. It grew slowly, quietly, and only came crashing down when a few brave voices inside the locker rooms finally decided to speak out. Without them, it might have all stayed hidden. And these weren't just rookies or players looking for attention. No, these were the league's rising stars. Names like Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham, future legends in the making. According to insiders, they stepped up and gave powerful behind-the-scenes testimonies that peeled back the curtain on what had been going on. They didn't speak in vague terms. They gave details, specific games, questionable calls, moments when momentum shifted and Griner's team seemed to benefit from decisions that just didn't add up. And the league? They didn't dismiss it as paranoia. They had recordings, audio clips played in private sessions, one where Griner was allegedly heard speaking directly to referees, discussing pressure points and key matchups before games. This wasn't just a trash-talking superstar. This was strategic manipulation behind the scenes. And that, according to sources, is what finally forced the league to act. Think about it. If Clark and Cunningham had chosen to stay silent, would any of this have come out? Or would Griner still be dominating headlines for her highlight reels while the league buried the truth? That's the chilling part. It wasn't league leadership that exposed the rot. It was the players themselves. And then came the pushback. The second Griner's ban was announced, and her camp went on the offensive. Lawyers were hired, public relations teams were activated, and insiders say they're preparing a full legal counterattack. Their message? This wasn't justice, it was a hit job. They're calling the punishment excessive and politically motivated. They're demanding access to every file, every recording, every shred of evidence the league has. But here's where it gets even more twisted. Griner's team is claiming that she's being used as a scapegoat, a distraction from deeper, more dangerous issues the league doesn't want the public to see. That she's being punished not for what she did, but for who she is, for challenging leadership, for being too loud, too confident, too influential in a space that wasn't ready for her power. And whether her team is spinning or telling the truth, one thing is certain: this is far from over. If it reaches the courtroom, expect secrets to spill, hidden deals, backroom politics, and names that haven't surfaced yet. So ask yourself this: is Brittney Griner being thrown under the bus to protect something or someone far bigger? Now let's talk about the gender bombshell. What if the truth is tied to something no one dared to say out loud? Stay tuned. The Brittney Griner gender bombshell shakes the WNBA. Just when it seemed like the chaos had reached its peak, the story took an even wilder turn. The kind of twist that doesn't just shake headlines, it shatters them. The whispers that once lived only in locker rooms and anonymous forums exploded into the mainstream. The question that no one dared ask out loud is now everywhere. Is Brittney Griner biologically male? Yeah, it's uncomfortable. Yeah, it's controversial. But this isn't some internet rumor anymore. It's front and center. Multiple sources, some inside the league, say there are internal memos, confidential medical records, and even private communications that suggest the WNBA may have known about this long before the public ever caught wind. If that's true, we're no longer just talking about personal identity. We're talking about a full-scale institutional cover-up. Why would the WNBA hide something this explosive? The answer may be as simple as branding. Brittney Griner wasn't just a star. She was the league. She dunked like no one else. She filled arenas. She was a media darling, a marketing machine, the face on every promo banner. She wasn't just a player. She was a business model. If anything had threatened that image, even something this sensitive, it's easy to see why the league might have chosen to keep it quiet. But now? Now that she's been banned, the silence is breaking. The whispers have turned into accusations, and the people who once looked the other way are suddenly asking tough questions. Was this ban really about game fixing and influence over referees? Or was it about getting ahead of a secret that could have destroyed the WNBA's credibility from the inside out? It's not just fans who are shaken. Sponsors are starting to backpedal. Broadcast deals are reportedly under review. Social media is on fire, and players, especially the newer generation, are caught in the middle of a storm they never saw coming. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese came into the league full of passion and potential. They weren't supposed to be part of this kind of mess. But now they're stuck in a league where the drama is overshadowing the game. And it doesn't stop there. Imagine being a young player, dreaming of the WNBA, only to see the headlines turn into chaos. The corruption, the gender questions, the silenced voices. None of it screams safe, professional, or stable. Parents are watching too, wondering if this league is the place for their daughters to thrive. Let's zoom out even more. The WNBA was on the brink of a golden era. Attendance was up. Star power was booming. The game was finally getting the respect it had long deserved. And then, all of it began to crack. Griner's ban, the leaked audio, and now, this gender controversy. It feels like the league is imploding from all sides. People want answers. And as more is revealed, the truth seems even more tangled. Was the WNBA protecting its star or protecting itself? Now the entire sports world is on edge. Will Adam Silver be forced to make even bigger moves? Will other players get caught in the fallout? And what if Brittney Griner decides to strike back, dragging every buried secret into the light? Her camp claims she's a target, punished for her power, her voice, her defiance. If that's true, the league might be standing on a fault line that's about to rupture. And then there's the fear hanging in the air. What happens to the voices still inside? Are other players afraid to speak up, worried they'll be next? The silence feels heavy, but the pressure is building. Fast. And just when you think it can't get any more complicated, we dive into how she got to the top in WNBA. Because what if her rise was shaped by secrets we were never meant to know? Stay right here. From dunks to dominance, the rise of Brittney Griner. From her earliest days in Houston, Brittney Griner was unlike any other high school athlete. Towering over most players with an unmatched wingspan and explosiveness, she was already dunking in games, something almost unheard of in girls' basketball at the time. Word spread fast. Sports networks couldn't get enough of her jaw-dropping blocks and powerful finishes at the rim. At Nimitz High School, she was more than just a star. She was a phenomenon. National scouts followed her every move, and fans packed the gym just to witness what she would do next. Griner led her team deep into state playoffs and earned the title of a McDonald's All-American. Her high school career ended with jaw-dropping stats: 3,000-plus points, 1,000-plus rebounds, and over 900 blocks. But this was just the beginning. College recruiters circled like sharks, but it was Baylor University that won her commitment. And in Waco, Texas, she delivered on every bit of the hype. As a freshman, she broke the NCAA single-season record for blocks with 223. Her intimidating defense and court presence reshaped how women's college basketball was played. In 2012, Griner led Baylor to an incredible 40-0 season, unbeaten from start to finish, and a national championship. That same year, she was named National Player of the Year and Most Outstanding Player of the NCAA tournament. With multiple All-American honors and a growing list of accolades, Griner had established herself as not just the most dominant college player in the country, but one of the greatest to ever play the game. When the 2013 WNBA draft arrived, there was no suspense. Brittney Griner was picked first overall by the Phoenix Mercury. Her professional debut was nothing short of historic. She dunked twice in her first game, sending a clear message. A new era had begun. She was immediately recognized for her defensive brilliance, earning WNBA All-Defensive Team honors in her rookie season. Griner averaged 3 blocks per game, intimidating even the league's best players. Fans and analysts quickly realized she wasn't just living up to expectations, she was surpassing them. Her unique combination of height, timing, and athleticism made her a nightmare for opponents and a dream for any coach. Her impact wasn't just physical, it was psychological. Players hesitated to drive the lane when Griner was waiting. Griner's rookie season was just a preview. The following year, she exploded. In 2014, she shattered the single-season block record with 129 and helped lead the Mercury to a dominant playoff run, culminating in a WNBA championship. She was named Defensive Player of the Year and selected for the All-WNBA first team. That championship season solidified her place among the elite. But she didn't stop there. In 2015, she repeated as Defensive Player of the Year and continued to redefine the center position. Her dominance extended beyond defense. In 2017 and 2019, she led the league in scoring, proving she wasn't just a shot blocker. She was a full-package powerhouse. Griner's stats were staggering, but what truly made her special was how she changed the game. Coaches had to develop new strategies just to work around her. She had turned defense into an art form and offense into a highlight reel. Her presence on the court altered the flow of every game she played. From high school gyms to packed WNBA arenas, Brittney Griner rose to the top not just by talent, but by transforming every stage she entered. And yet, beyond all the records and rings, the most compelling chapter of her story wasn't written on the court, but in the battles she faced off in it. So, what happened when the spotlight dimmed and the world seemed to turn away? Her legacy and resilience. Could the toughest opponent she ever faced have come from beyond the hardwood? Stay tuned. Brittney Griner, a legacy of power, a story of survival. Brittney Griner's legacy in professional basketball isn't just about numbers, it's about how she redefined what was possible. Over her career, she became one of the WNBA's most dominant and influential players. With 10 All-Star selections and multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards, she left her mark on both ends of the floor. From the start, Griner was a force of nature, but her consistency and growth over the years showed her commitment to being more than just a moment. She became a movement. Her career with the Phoenix Mercury lasted over a decade, during which she shattered records and earned respect from players and coaches across the league. She led the WNBA in blocks 8 different seasons and became the league's all-time leader in dunks, something no other female player had done at her level. Her scoring also spoke volumes. She had seasons where she averaged over 20 points per game, proving that she could dominate offensively just as well as she could protect the rim. Off the court, Griner wasn't afraid to use her voice. Whether speaking out about racial injustice, LGBTQ+ rights, or athlete mental health, she pushed the boundaries of what it meant to be a professional athlete. She was outspoken, bold, and often controversial, but never silent. For many young girls, especially queer and Black athletes, Griner stood as proof that they could be fully themselves and still succeed at the highest level. Her impact extended far beyond the hardwood. It's not a stretch to say she changed the WNBA, not just in style of play, but in spirit and culture. But while her professional journey had plenty of highs, Brittney Griner's story took a painful and dramatic turn in 2022 when she was arrested in Russia for carrying cannabis oil. What followed was a nightmare. Months of detainment in a foreign land, isolated from her family, friends, and team. She was sentenced to 9 years in a penal colony, sparking an international outcry. Athletes, celebrities, and even U.S. officials spoke out, demanding her release. The incident became a flashpoint not only for geopolitical tensions, but also for conversations about how female athletes are treated and paid. Her return in 2023 was nothing short of a miracle. Many thought she'd never play again. But Griner didn't just return, she returned stronger, fiercer, and more determined. She averaged over 17 points per game and earned another All-Star selection. That same year, she also released a memoir detailing her experience in Russia and the mental battles she endured. Through it all, Griner showed something that couldn't be measured by stats or trophies: resilience. She proved that real strength isn't just about muscles or blocks, it's about how you rise after everything breaks. In 2014, during her second season with the Phoenix Mercury, Griner helped lead the team to a stunning 29-5 regular season record, the best in league history at the time. Her shot blocking, rim protection, and newfound scoring confidence fueled the team through the playoffs, ultimately winning the WNBA championship. That run wasn't just a career milestone, it was a statement. Griner had evolved from a rookie sensation into the spine of a championship team. She wasn't just helping the Mercury win, she was defining their identity. Her postseason performance earned praise from fans and critics alike, and her dominance was now unquestioned. That season marked the beginning of a dynasty conversation, and Griner was front and center. Her story is still being written. But what's clear is this: Brittney Griner has done more than play the game. She has reshaped it, survived its darkest shadows, and emerged as one of its most enduring icons. So, what do you think of Brittney Griner's legacy? Let us know what your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.